something about like fucking not long retired spies, and I'm like, what is this about? Like, what did you just say to me? Like, it's apparently his idea of a good time, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about,
He's
Alex?
also done that a bunch, though. Not like to that extreme, but just to like fill space, kind of. I feel like,
Yeah,
and like it works because like he writes fun like he just
phrases.
like where it's like I don't really care because like he does write the nonsense well. So
Yeah.
like it's okay to have some filler here and there. Like not every single word has to be impactful.
But yeah, I was actually more excited on the car about his vocal performance than like his lyrics, because he's doing some stuff he didn't used to do. Like he really played around on the car in a way that I thought was fun, with his like falsetto and stuff. That was a really good time. Also, just the music fucking
gave
rules.
that guitarist a wah pedal this time.
Yeah,
he loved using it. Here's the thing:
Arctic Monkeys said it's my turn with the wah pedal.
It wasn't overdone, but it was done enough. Or as a guitarist, I'm like, man, they just got that pedal. I mean,
they're loving the wah pedal on this one.
I was like, so.
Dude, big hits. Sculptures of Anything Goes. I want the next Arctic Monkeys album to sound like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me, I think Hello You is my favorite. I think it's the one that I think it's the one that does the I think it's the best one of the ones that are like aesthetically fitting with the car. I don't like Sculptures of Anything Goes is my favorite song on the album, but I don't know, like it's the strings are there and like you can tell kind of that before like the effect that's on it, like it's the same kind of instrumentation. Like it would fit if it didn't have the effect on it, but the effect on it is what makes it dope as hell.
Yeah, mine is probably Body Paint. I'm a very big David Bowie fan.
Yeah.
And
I know
good.
Danny likes that one a lot too. Do you like Body Paint?
Body Paint literally is just a David Bowie song. Like it, like unabashedly, it is literally like, oh hey, look, David Bowie wrote a new song, basically from the grave, right? Like that's obviously it's different than that because they're different artists, but like it stood out to me.
Also, Alex's vocal performance on Body Paint is fucking ripping. I love all that shit.
It's so good. Anyway, this podcast isn't an Arctic Monkeys podcast. This podcast,
a Megadeth podcast,
is learning the ropes.
Government
to a special
spooky
episode.
Yo, we're gonna cover one of those songs.
Learning the ropes.
Dude, this is a spooky episode, Tyler. Are you ready to be spooky?
What's spooking us? Is it the CIA?
You know, hey Tyler, you want to know what's spooking us this week? Tell me what you know about the Undertaker.
He's tall.
That is true. He's very fucking tall.
Broke Hulk Hogan's neck. Got Paul Bear with him. He flies through the air in a way that's kind of haunting because he's so big.
Is there anything else important about it? That is actually a really good way to put it.
Come on, look at me. I should be writing lyrics. What am I doing?
We should write a song about the Undertaker.
Dude, I would. That'd be fun.
It's gonna have non-guitar solos in it,
It's called You're Gonna Pay, and he used to walk out to it.
All right, well, Tyler,
man, walk.
It's good.
We're gonna bring you up to speed on what the Undertaker has been doing since we last saw him. All right, in a segment that we like to call the Necrophiles, an in-depth investigation on the whereabouts of the dead man himself. Andrew, where's the Undertaker?
Matt, we lost him. He's gone. I don't know. He's gone. I haven't seen him since the Rumble. I don't know how to break this to you. The Undertaker's missing.
You had one fucking job.
I know. You look away from the urn for like 2.5 seconds and suddenly the Undertaker's gone.
Just a bit.
But
maybe,
I can't find him, so
Andrew. How could you lose like an 8-foot tall dead man?
I know he's huge and he had Paul Bearer with him, but then like I turned around and now he's gone and I was like, Paul, where'd he go? And Paul was like, "Whoa!" And then he didn't answer. They're so vague and spooky.
All right, maybe if we backtrack, we could find out where he's gone to.
Yeah, that's a good idea. So he lost the WWF Championship in 1991. That's like the last time we saw him on the show. After that, he like spent some time allied with Jake the Snake Roberts, which is cool. But that alliance wasn't super long. It was pretty short-lived because Jake wanted to fuck up the Macho Man, and Taker was filled with so much macho madness that he had to stop him, and that turned him face, so he couldn't be an ally with Jake the Snake anymore. He feuded with Jake the Snake. He wrestled him at WrestleMania 8, and he beat him. That match was okay. We didn't watch it, but it was pretty alright.
If I remember correctly, he then like feuded with just like big guys like Kamala and Giant Gonzalez. And he has the match at WrestleMania 9 against Gonzalez, right?
Yeah, he wrestles Giant Gonzalez at Mania 9.
And he wins by disqualification because Giant Gonzalez chloroforms the Undertaker.
And I guess that works because he's breathing.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tyler, the Undertaker got chloroformed.
But he's dead.
Yeah, but he also won that match, though, because DQ.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of okay, you know? I don't know what the drug trip is like on
if
chloroform.
You win the... Yeah, so what you're saying is that if you get chloroform, but you become better for it, it's okay that it happened.
Yeah, and like, if you get chloroformed, that will disqualify your opponent in a wrestling match, and that's a dub for you.
Yeah.
As far as the books see it.
Get chloroform more. Hard in the ropes.
Yeah. So Taker, after his chloroforming, he kind of like milled around for the rest of the year. Eventually, at the Royal Rumble 1994, The Undertaker would face Yokozuna in a casket match. And Taker lost, and then that's around the time that he disappeared. That's around the time he was rolled to the back in that casket, and I was like, all right, he's in the box. And then Paul Bearer was like, yeah, he's in the box. And then we opened the box, no Undertaker.
God, but where? Where the fuck could he be, Andrew? Does anyone know?
You know, I think desperate times call for desperate measures, and we should hire a detective. We should hire a detective to find the Undertaker, and I know just who to do it. Let's go to Field Agent Leslie Nielsen, aka Detective Lieutenant Frank Drebin from fucking The Naked Gun. Detective, what do you got for us?
For weeks, I've been flying all over the world, tracking down every lead I could. In my attempts to solve this mystery of the Undertaker, every trail I followed led to another dead end.
I don't know what it is, but I feel I'm onto something.
That's the thing we just watched.
Wait, Tyler.
Oh!
We're getting word from the $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase found the Undertaker.
Wait, but Andrew, I'm getting word that Paul Bearer found the Undertaker.
2 Undertakers? How could this be, Tyler? How do we settle this? How do we know which one is the real Undertaker, Tyler?
You make them fight.
And off to the match. And now, a word from our sponsor. Learning the Ropes is brought to you by Anchor FM. Are you passionate about something and want to share that passion with the world? Then maybe it's time for you to start a podcast of your own, and Anchor is the best place to do that. Anchor is a one-stop shop for creating high-quality video and audio podcasts. Anchor has tools that allow you to record, edit, and even publish your podcasts right from your phone or computer. With Anchor, you can distribute your podcast on the most popular listening platforms. I'm talking about Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, and so much more. It's everything you need all in one place, and best of all, Anchor is 100% free to use. So what are you waiting for? Download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
That Detective B plot ran through the entire pay-per-view, by the way.
Oh no, really?
Leslie Nielsen and his friend were like searching the arena for the Undertaker throughout the course of the whole pay-per-view.
We're back, by the way.
Yeah, we're back from the match. That's how we come back from the match.
That was the Undertaker versus the Undertaker. Which one was the real Undertaker, Tyler?
The one that won?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good job. You nailed
Okay.
it.
I feel like we knew that from the beginning.
I kind of got the impression from commentary that like no matter which one won, they were just gonna declare that one the real Undertaker.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, it's good that the actual real Undertaker did win.
Yeah, that he actually won. That his dark powers were stronger. He could no-sell finishing moves. He could no-sell one tombstone and a chokeslam.
Yeah. Tyler, was there any doubt at any point in which where you didn't know which Undertaker was which?
No, not for a second. In fact, the second that he came on screen, I was like, "Oh, that's not right." And then you went, "What?"
There was definitely an Undertaker in this match, and
if we
then
do
there
some
was
drugs
also
and watch it
the
again, then maybe I'll be
Undertaker.
confused.
Dude. I want to give a shout out to Jerry Lawler while we're talking about entrances. There was a thing I noticed when like after Paul Bearer comes out with like the casket or whatever that has the urn in it, and when Paul Bearer's like opening the urn and like the gong hits for the Undertaker, like the actual one to come out. And Jerry Lawler does this thing where he starts like playing along with the gimmick in a way that, like when Ted DiBiase's fake Undertaker was coming out, he was just kind of like, the $1 Million Man's definitely got the real Undertaker. Paul Bearer doesn't have nothing. And then like the gong hits, and Jerry Lawler's like, McMahon, it suddenly got really cold in here. I'm like, hey, he's like playing along with the whole gimmick. And I'm like, that's great. Like, I love the commitment to like the Undertaker's kayfabe. It's so good.
And that commitment might have been the only great thing about this match, though.
Yeah. Oh, well, that commitment and also the new theme song that the Undertaker gets.
Oh yeah, we switched from the harpsichord only Undertaker to the Undertaker theme to the like proper Undertaker theme.
The Undertaker theme that everybody knows.
Yeah.
The one that he uses for his whole career. Like and yeah, it's the best wrestling theme song of all time. But yeah, that's the good stuff. Tyler, what'd you think of the match? Like the match.
You know, it was short. That was good. That was good. It was good that it was short.
You know, I agree.
There was the one tombstone thing that was cool.
Taker hits a leaping tombstone in this.
That was cool.
Yeah, he tombstones the absolute shit out of fake Undertaker. Like they didn't need he hits fake Undertaker with like 3 straight tombstone pile drivers, I was sold that fake Undertaker was destroyed after the first one. Because it was just, he destroyed, not to use the word twice, he fucking obliterated fake Undertaker.
But yeah, the match was nothing special.
Oh, boring,
Yeah.
actually. Like,
It's quite boring in fact. Here's the thing: I wanted to like it because it was a fun gimmick, and then it just didn't really go anywhere.
yeah. I think, like, I had a lot of fun with, like, the whole build up to this stuff. And it's like a fun Scooby-Doo, like, spooky kind of cartoon. And then you get both guys out there, and you realize that, like, this is a character who can't have, like, an exciting match. And you made him fight himself. Like, you put two guys who, by their own character design, can't be like an exciting, fast-paced character in a match against each other. Like, they have to move slow, and it's two zombies fighting. Like, literally, in kayfabe, for real. Two zombies are fighting, and it feels like that. I just said so many words.
I think it really sets as a testament as to, like, the Undertaker that he becomes.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because obviously right now they're really going for the, like, he's a zombie, he doesn't feel pain, he doesn't move around much. But, like, when we get the Undertaker that's fucking quick as a fucking cat.
Yeah. When he moves,
it's terrifying. Like, at the top of the show, Tyler mentioned, you know, how it was haunting, like, how he could fly around the ring sometimes. We get a lot more of that in The Undertaker, and sometimes it is legitimately terrifying how quick he actually is, and, like, at this point in his career, he is legitimately just being held back. And that's the thing he's talked about since his retirement, that, like, these, like, first few years of The Undertaker are just Vince telling him that he needs to work super slow. But, like, the thing that drew Vince to The Undertaker, to Mark Calloway, was the matches that Mark Calloway was having as Mean Mark Callis in, like, the indies. Or the indies, you know what I mean, like, the like, territory.
Yeah.
And, just, like, immediately just coming in, being brought in for his wrestling acumen, and then it being put with this character that on the surface doesn't have legs, right? Like, this character on the surface level, if you're talking about, like, wrestling characters, and you kind of see, like, which ones survive and which ones don't, The Undertaker should not have survived.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that character is dumb and campy and shouldn't work post, like, this era of wrestling. But he's the most iconic wrestling character, probably outside of just Hulk Hogan and The Rock, maybe.
I can say the same thing with a positive spin on it, because at least about the match, because or the Undertaker's work at this time, because I think this era of Undertaker, sort of like the way that we're watching it, it's, like, really important as, like, a foundational thing. And I think it's kind of why Taker can have this, like, longevity, is because he starts here and, like, puts a whole bunch of work into just, like, embodying, like, he's figuring out what the Deadman character is, and then later we get to see him go, okay, well, what can this guy do? And, like, him expanding those horizons, I think is important. And that's kind of why we watch this match. That, and because the stuff that's not the in-ring action is super fun goofiness. It's so good.
I also
It's
think
so
that
funny.
this match really puts into context what was since we've been watching mostly like Bret Hart matches recently. Like this match is on the same card as Bret Hart versus Owen Hart in a steel cage.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that kind of contextualizes it more. Especially because like something Tyler mentioned last week was that just continuously watching Bret Hart matches makes it so like the Bret Hart matches, like he's seen a lot of them, and like it, I don't want to say makes them stale, but like obviously they're if that's all you're watching, they're just gonna feel less important.
Yeah, when you like watch something else, like you are kind of like reminded by how good he actually is.
Right, because it's like I said, like now knowing that this is on the same, like I said, this match closes the show that Bret Hart and Owen Hart in a steel cage is in. How does that, in your mind, change your perspective on that cage match?
Makes it worse. Wait. Wait, you went for
The
for
cage
that
match.
that past week.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that makes this match worse, and it ended the whole fucking night. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I can go back and judge that one
That's fair. But
based on
like,
this one.
but then how does that change your thoughts on this one, knowing that that was the end of that show?
It makes it a lot worse,
Yeah.
and I want to like it.
Yeah. I love fucking Vince McMahon out there making up ways to say that the crowd aren't bored.
Yo, they're stunned by silence. Horror has
They're
taken
straight
them.
up stunned. They're still stunned to silence like 3 minutes into this wrestling match after the bell. Like they're still just trying to grow accustomed to. I kind of loved how early it started. I almost felt like Vince realized what he booked after the bell had rung. And he was like sitting on commentary and he's like, wait a minute. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Like this is gonna be boring. Like they're shuffling immediately and you're like, uh-oh. But yeah, it's honestly, it's not great. And it doesn't feel great that it ends the show over Owen and Brett. I feel like Owen and Brett definitely deserve to go on last.
Yeah.
They really did.
But yeah. And this stuff was all over like Raw. Like this was all over like TV. We watched like the pay-per-views like recap of the whole build and all the different wrestling talk show segments and like vignettes and stuff that took place over the course of this whole storyline. Like this was all over TV.
All right, let's move on to the ratings. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right. This one's hard.
Because I want to like it, and I can't rate it high.
I'm gonna give it a star.
1 star.
1. Tyler, you seem to disagree with me. What are you thinking?
I was gonna give it a 2, but also I think I've given matches that I've liked more than this a 2. So maybe I can't give it a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Okay.
2. It's a fun concept, and it wasn't long, at least.
That's true. I think that's the good stuff. The good thing that it's not long. Andrew, what did you think?
I'm gonna give this 1.5.
Fair enough.
And the extra 0.5 is for all the stuff that's not in the ring. Like it's literally for the fun cartoon of it. The match itself is just like, yeah, like take it or leave it. At least it was short. it kind of knew what it needed to be, but what it needed to be was not good. And shout out to that Tombstone pile driver.
And for context, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter gave this match -1 star. Our first negative stars.
Oh, his negative is like, so this is like leaning towards so bad it's kind of good.
Yeah.
Like he's like, it's a little bit enjoyably bad, you know?
Oh, is that because of the cartoon thing, or is that because of it's just a bad match?
Probably both.
Probably both.
Because I feel like we give it more points because it was the cartoon thing.
True.
But like,
Yeah,
it's
instead of,
so
like,
good,
going the
it's
other
good.
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And with that, remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. You can find us on Instagram at Learning the Ropes Pod. You can find us on Twitter at LTR_pod. Tyler, do the thing.
Fuck the hard croissants, only the soft one, the real.
Good night, everybody.